Hello there. Welcome to my reaction to what happened to the crew of this train. Last Moments by Cuxir. I went against my better judgment, and now I'm watching Last Moments type of video. Which I didn't want to do because it's more depressing than like Tales from the Bottle or something, where it just tells you a story. But I do want to know what happened to the crew of this train. I want to know what happened to the train. Why did it become Cthulhu on fucking rails? I love all Cuxir videos. I haven't seen a lot of them. They all, every time I do a reaction to them, and you can check the previous reactions on the channel. And it's been a while since I did the last one, but just psyching myself up. I'm sorry. Last Moments is gonna be probably rough. So like, comment, and subscribe, please. Because 95% of you are not blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
This chilling picture was taken in 1943. It depicts the aftermath of a catastrophic event that befell a steam locomotive in Ohio, USA.
Okay.
What happened to this engine? And if the train looks like that,
okay, that's what
happened
is.
to the crew?
What was the whole first part?
To explain this mysterious picture, we first have to understand the basics of how a steam engine works. An engine like this uses fire to heat water in a boiler, producing highly pressurized steam that is used to drive the wheels. The crew ignite and maintain a fire in the firebox. This is done by burning solid fuel like wood or coal. The heat and smoke from the firebox pass through an array of pipes as they make their way to the smoke box and out the smokestack. The pipes they pass through are surrounded by water. This is the boiler. As the heat passes through the pipes, it heats the surrounding water in the boiler and turns some of it to steam. This steam is under a lot of pressure and needs somewhere to go. It passes through the steam dome on its way down to pistons that power the wheels. In some designs, the steam must first pass through a superheater on its way out of the steam dome. A superheater reintroduces the steam to the flowing heat, turning the saturated wet steam into superheated dry steam, increasing its thermal energy and...
Every time something new is added, I'm like, that's what exploded. In my mind, I go, oh, that's what exploded. Maybe that's... Maybe that's what exploded, the superheater?
Decreasing the likelihood it will condense in the engine. What cannot be understated is the extreme values at play here. The incredible heat and pressure put a lot of strain and stress on the components of a steam engine, to the point where many parts require periodic replacement to make sure they're always up to the task. These extreme values ensure that should any of these parts fail, the resulting release of energy could be immensely destructive. And that brings us back to this picture. The locomotive here is a Chesapeake and Ohio T1 class, numbered 3020. In May 1943, residents outside Chillicothe, Ohio, were shook by a monstrous roar coming from the railway. Upon inspection, the noise appeared to have come from a train sitting idly on the tracks. The engine was hideously deformed and steaming debris lay scattered all around. The 3 crewmen in the cab were badly scalded. All 3 would die of their injuries. The boiler had exploded, forcing the superheater tubes out through the front of the locomotive, explaining the image you see here. What is not clear is what caused the boiler to explode. It's been suggested that the train had been travelling up an incline at the time of the incident, slowing the train to a near stall. The crew, not wanting to stall on the hill, may have opted for less water in the boiler, as less water is easier to heat and thus convert into more steam. Adding water at this point would have cooled the engine, resulting in less steam and less pressure, potentially resulting in a stall. Water is an essential component of the steam engine though, and it's used for more than just the creation of steam. As the firebox heats the water, so too does the water cool the firebox. A lack of water brings a lack of temperature moderation, under which the metal sheets of the firebox begin to overheat. the metal will turn red hot and begin to melt. Keep in mind, this machine is housing a volume of high pressure steam strong enough to pull many tons of train. If part of that housing begins to fail, the steam will make its way out explosively. The brakeman, fireman and engineer were blasted with superheated steam, scalding them to death. Some reports have the blinded brakeman explaining that he had begged the other 2 crew members to put water in the boiler just before succumbing to his injuries. These old locomotives did not have the benefit of automated systems checks like we do today. The crew was solely responsible for monitoring and maintaining the balance between temperature and pressure. In boiler explosions like this, insufficient water was commonly the cause, although such explosions were rare. And so, 80 years on, this picture is still strangely unnerving. Even if you don't know what you're looking at, this image tells you that something went terribly, terribly wrong. What makes this picture truly horrifying is the fact that when you look into it, you learn that being involved in this incident would have been far worse than even the terrifying picture indicates. The image suggests the relief of an instant death, though we know that is not how the crew spent their last moments.
This wasn't as like depressing as I expected to be. Not depressing, but I don't know what word to use. I expected to hear like these their last moments, they were saying these things or something. I don't know. Steam engines collide head on. Oh lord. But still, like 3 people died. That's fucked up, and because they were scalded by like steam and water, they didn't die instantly. They were in a fuck ton of pain before they actually died. They probably passed out from pain before they died. But I just... some last moments videos just leave me scarred, and this is not one of them. How do you die in a sinking submarine? Oh, I watched that one. But that fucking train, it just looks kind of cool. No, okay. Hearing how the steam engine works makes me think that technology kind of is insane. Like being able, somebody came up, I don't know who, probably history books do at least know who patented it and not created it, but they came up with something like that long ago to be able to pull so much weight just by using, pretty much just by using water and heat. And yet this happens when it's used a little bit incorrectly. I mean, I see where they were coming from, what they wanted to do, but yeah. Also, this photo was taken while water was still leaking. I think. Is that what that is? Or maybe it's when they came, they started to leak it, so it would be easier to transport it away. Still, the steam technology is fucking insane. Anyway, it's a great video as always. If you want more cukes here, I'll do it for you. No, if you want more cukes here, you ask him. But if you want more reactions to cukes here from me, you ask me in the comments below. And then I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thank anybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Have a great life. Because one of us has to.